Your host, Parker, Dan, and Angela slice and dice their way through the good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The bad.
You brought the devil!
That's the devil inside everyone.
And the ugly movies you love.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it!
Hold your favorite films and franchises tight, because they aren't safe. In fact, it's already too late. It's time to dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dissect That Film, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello. Hey.
We're going to pretend like we didn't just intro this show 4 times.
Hey.
We always like to be
was the
honest with
best.
everybody. That was the best one, and you got it. And we're even going to tell you that we did other ones.
Yeah, it's part of the magic. They need to know what's going on behind the scenes.
If you'd like to see all of our bloopers and all of our other intros, maybe I'll post them on Patreon for as little as $1. You could join us over there and get some extra goodies. There, I'm going to promote the Patreon right at the beginning of the episode. Today on the show, though, we are celebrating Valentine's Day. It's a little after Valentine's Day as you listen to this, but we figure we're going to celebrate it with a classic as we talk about 1981's My Bloody Valentine. We are all first-time viewers of this movie, correct? Yes.
Yes, very much so.
The only thing I've ever seen on this movie was the kill count, because I've always admitted when I watch a kill count, even if it's a movie I've never seen before, so I kind of had the gist of what this movie was about, but sometimes rewatch. Don't worry, everybody. It doesn't spoil anything. I usually can go into the movie and still be, shocked and awed by things I see in a movie. But yeah, I love it when we're all seeing something for the very first time and we get to kind of go at it, with all of our different views. I have seen
The View.
The View, yes.
The View for horror movies.
Where's Whoopi at?
Oh no, that'll get you in
Oh,
trouble.
damn it. Holy shit! What was that fucking Simpsons thing? Man, was I a fool? Man, was I a fool? Anybody would ever want nudes of Whoopi Goldberg?
Speaking of The Simpsons, there's somebody that was in this movie who it was very much involved with that show, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I told you.
But back to our first time views of this movie, and I have seen the remake. The remake, for me, I probably have seen a lot of the remakes before the originals when it came to a lot of those remakes that came out in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. This one was definitely one that I had seen. I might have seen it in theaters, to be honest. It was a 3D movie, so it was like, oh, cool, a horror movie in 3D. Let's do this. I think it had like Jared Padalecki in it. And yeah, it was cool. It had Tom Atkins in it, which I was a big fan of Tom Atkins. Yeah, he plays the sheriff in that movie, so that's cool. But I think that's something we should jot down and cover that one for next Valentine's Day. I think it'd be cool to kind of visit both of them at some point. So
let's the style at the time, by the way, 3D horror movies in the 2000s.
So without kind of spoiling our full thoughts until after, of course, we talk about the plot of the movie, let's talk about kind of our first impressions of the movie after our first time viewing. So Dan, you want to start us off?
Oh, impressions. Okay, so I do something I don't normally do when I watch these kind of movies. Is I have heard of this film's legacy and I have seen the kill count. And I went in with fairly high expectations for the film. Just something that I don't normally do. I try to keep the bar low so it's only up from there, which is, I don't know. I was going to make some reference about our marriage, but, whatever. Anyhow, my end of it, not you.
You roped me into this by saying ours.
It's not my fault this came out a day. It comes out the day after our anniversary, all right? I can't help it.
Yes, make sure to comment down below and wish Dan and Angela happy anniversary.
17 years.
Yep.
Wow. And still so young.
We're old.
No, you're not.
Kind of.
We're old.
We're in our 30s.
We got the glow. We got the glow. Anyway, I completely forgot this was a Canadian movie. This is
Oh,
not.
this is a very Canadian movie.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I
I'm
forgot.
so sorry.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nothing other than that. I just wanted to set my expectations. I don't know what else to say until we really start talking about the movie, but I have my expectations pretty high. There was some other stuff in it, blah blah blah, that I can't talk about, and Canada.
Yes,
That's
we love Canada. We love all of our amazing Canadian listeners, and we have friends who are Canadian. So yeah, we don't make jokes to offend. It's just this is a very Canadian movie, and we can't wait to talk more about it. Andrew?
yeah. We have to disguise our hate.
Discuss.
I'm gonna have to make references today. It's gonna be good.
Well, I said that I wanted to make an A tally. How many times I said it,
So
but
A then, eh?
I was sad that I didn't hear it as many times as I wanted to. Because I'm not Canadian. I say it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love that.
Or maybe you are. You don't know about it.
I wanted to be Canadian.
Why?
I said after high school that's where I was moving.
But they have syrup. Lots of syrup.
So
I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
that's not a bad thing.
Just overrun with syrup.
They have syrup rustlers.
This is gonna be difficult.
Oh, it takes place in Nova
first
Scotia.
grade. Yeah,
It
Nova
does.
Scotia.
It was filmed in Nova Scotia. So yeah.
I don't know how to do this without,
Well, you don't have to say anything then. We could just wait.
Yeah, just wait, dear.
because I'm gonna like
I already
topple over everything that I want to say, and
then
it's
just
just
say
gonna...
something else. Just talk about how I don't know. It's because this town has a death curse. I don't
Well,
know.
I went into this. I didn't watch the kill count because him and Victor watch it without me, and
It
never
specifically says
pull me
no
in.
girls allowed on the YouTube channel. I can't help it. It's not my fault. Blame Jane.
So I didn't know anything about this.
I don't
Like
remember.
I don't.
So
You don't
she's going in
remember.
with fresh eyes. Like
Oh,
we
I-
had
Yeah,
fresh
I
eyes.
said this.
She had double fresh eyes.
I said this popped my bloody cherry.
Ooh.
That sounds both disgusting and the double fresh eyes. Just
The funny thing is that is a term that is used in this movie, which is pretty funny. Well, I guess if you think it's funny. So My Bloody Valentine was released February 11th, 1981, directed by George Mahalka, who he did a lot of B-rated movies. He had a couple come out in like the early 80s, and then kind of nothing I recognize other than this. He did a documentary about this movie in 2009, which is when Lionsgate bought the rights to this movie and re-released it to include a couple of minutes that were cut from the original movie. Because this movie was, of course, it was Paramount, and Paramount had done Friday the 13th the year before. Of course, we know the history of Friday the 13th and the MPAA. They chopped the shit out of a lot of the movies to cut the gore down, to get it so that it wasn't rated, above an R. This movie got the same treatment. A lot of the kills were cut down so that you barely saw anything. And then pretty much I think one of the producers was like, "Hey, we got the footage. Why don't we just release like an unrated cut or just a different cut of the movie?" And Paramount's like, "No, we don't want to do that." So in 2009, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, so which was weird because a lot of the MPAA cutting didn't start happening until the mid and late 80s. Like the early 80s was like when the boom started. From my knowledge,
the MPAA started with Friday the 13th. They were cutting all of those movies, and I think Paramount was just on their radar. Like they just saw Paramount was releasing a horror movie or a slasher, and they were like, "Yep, we're going after him. Go get him, doggy." And so there were 9 minutes cut from this movie, and in 2009 Lionsgate got the licensing for it, for the home media rights or whatever, so they could release it on DVD and Blu-ray. So they released a unrated cut of the film that included 3 extra minutes, which pretty much is just you got to see more of the kills, like you got to see more of the gore, which for some reason the version I saw last night didn't have the extended kills like scenes, but I know what they are. It's weird. I don't know. And this was also the same year that the remake came out. So like My Bloody Valentine in 2009 just blew up. So this, of course, very Canadian movie, as we stated before. This was filmed in the Sydney mines of Nova Scotia in 1980. And this stars Paul Kelman as TJ Hanniger, who was looking through the cast of this before. Right after I watched the movie, I was like looking through the cast to see what people had been in because I just didn't recognize anybody. So many of the cast has passed away within the last 10 years. Like the actor who played TJ, who I just mentioned, Paul Kelman, he passed away.
Recently too.
Don Franks, who plays Chief Newbie, he passed away. I mean, he was pushing 90 anyways. I do want to do a side note on Don Franks. He was a prolific voice actor as well. He actually was the first voice of Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget, and his daughter is also voice actress Cree Summer, who was actually the original voice of Penny from Inspector Gadget in 1983.
No way.
She also is she's a very famous voice actress. She is Susie Carmichael in Rugrats. She is Elmra Duff in Tiny Toon Adventures.
Yeah,
she was, of course, we said Inspector Gadget. She was in Clifford the Big Red Dog, Codename Kids Next Door, Atlantis: The Lost Empire, Danny Phantom. I mean, she's
gotta
been...
catch them all, Danny. Damn it.
Gotta catch them all.
I have a guy that I work with who does that bullshit. He's like, gotta catch them all, something Danny Phantom. I was like, don't fucking do that. That shit does not go together. He kills me.
So funny.
You know,
gotta
he
catch
listens
them
to
all.
this show. He fucking knows.
She's in the Cat Bear movie.
Kills
Yeah.
me.
So her voice is very iconic. If you know, like just hearing Susie Carmichael's voice from Rugrats, I'm like, oh yeah. Because she uses a very similar voice for most of the characters that she would do. We have Lori Hallier as Sarah Mercer. I do want to mention one movie that she made. In 1996, a movie called Twister came out. Love that movie. She was in a sci-fi like version of that movie. It was called Night of the Twisters that came out the same exact year. It was actually the debut film for the channel called the Family Channel. Yeah, I wanted to mention that. Yeah, she was big in soap operas, Days of Our Lives, and stuff like that.
One of those.
We have Neil Affleck, who plays Axel. To be honest, the funniest thing is I saw his name. I was like, I wonder if he's related to Ben Affleck because they're the same exact spelling. I was like, maybe. I know he's from Boston, but I was like, man, maybe things
maybe cousin
work out
something
that way. Cool thing about Neil Affleck is he worked on The Simpsons from 1991 to 2000. He worked in the animation department. He actually directed 7 episodes of the show. He worked on 52 episodes between 1991 and 2000. He also worked on shows such as Rocko's Modern Life. He actually directed a couple episodes of Family Guy, some classic kids shows, Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Friends, which I remember seeing when I was a kid. He was also, as an actor, he was also in Scanners, which came out the same year as this. But I figured Dan always likes to reference either Simpsons or SpongeBob, and to see somebody as a movie that we're talking about being a big part of one of those shows, pretty cool.
I remember some of the episodes too, because he was like toward the end of the golden age that he was doing it. It's usually like, depending on your opinion, it's around the 10th season that the kind of started the decline happened. But no, that's great. I had to look him up, but I want to say one thing about this man in this movie. Mm-hmm. His chin is just unapologetically aggressive. Like, something about it, dude.
He's got a chin.
He's like the Crimson Chin.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
But he also did Backyardigans. Is he trampling through the woods?
Did he do the song?
I don't know, but he did Backyardigans.
Can eat an ass, dude.
We have Cynthia Dale as Patty. We have Keith Knight as Hollis. He also passed away. It's unfortunate. That freaking mustache is just...
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
We have Alf Humphreys as Howard. He also passed away in 2018. He died of brain cancer. I'm like, golly, this is just like, it's depressing, like reading through the cast.
He was in First Blood.
And
Yes.
X2.
And X2.
And X2.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Damn, bro. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Sarah should be all about that. She likes that stuff.
He was in every single one of those live action ones. He was in some episodes of X-Files, Smallville. stuff like that. He also said on
Ah.
his Wikipedia page, I just want to mention this, that it says he was married to Elizabeth Moss. And I was like, excuse me? Looked her up. Not that Elizabeth Moss. And I'm like,
No.
why did you put it? Like, I don't know who, like, what are we doing? Wikipedia.
Well,
Thanks,
it has
random person who punched that into Wikipedia.
Well, it has on IMDb. It has her death date, but not her when she was born. I was
Oh,
like, it's
Lord.
just a question mark.
Thank you, internet.
So yeah,
It's
this is a movie that definitely is kind of torn between people. That you either have people who really love this movie and hate the remake, or people who love the remake and just not a fan of this one. I don't know if there's probably people who like both of them, but it's either one or the other from what I've seen, at least in my travels through the internet and talking about the two movies. But yeah, it was one of those, what holiday can we make a horror movie off of? You know, they did Friday the 13th. They had done Black Christmas, of course. Halloween
Is
had
there
come
an
out already.
Easter horror movie?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Probably. They're
I need
awful.
Easter
They're
horror.
probably horrendous, but
With our like this generation, I guess like the 20 like early 2020s or whatever, like where we're getting those like horror spin-offs of iconic characters that shouldn't be in horror movies. I just want a SpongeBob themed one, right? Now hear me out. I want a SpongeBob themed one where it's just Happy Leif Erikson Day. And like
stay
the
tuned,
subtitle be like,
stay tuned, everybody. There might be, I don't know by the time you hear this episode or what, there might be a show or some sort of thing that I'm going to be doing with somebody else of just talking about these awful public domain horror movies that are going to be coming out or have already been released. So stay tuned for that.
Oh no.
the subtitle better be Hadinga-dinga-durgan. Please.
Oh, the funny thing about this is this movie was actually filmed in a coal mine.
Yeah.
And they actually had people go down to the coal mine to like fix it up to make it not look so grimy. And I guess they did too good of a job and they cleaned it up too much where they're like, we need to make this look dirtier. It's a fucking coal mine. We gotta do
Are
something.
they
about
real?
this.
Dude, that just blows my mind that they like went that far. Like I mean, I could tell it was filmed like in some actual cave, but that's just like, I wonder if you could get away with that. Like nowadays, could you do that? Like all the liability, like filming
Yeah,
in a
right?
coal mine.
Oh,
You'd have
this
to
is
have
early
some
80s. What are you talking
major
about?
insurance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's why they got away with it for sure.
Well, I mean, there's not too much more I can talk about here. If you want to know more about the history of this movie, there's a great podcast called Vintage Video Pod. They did an amazing episode talking about this and kind of giving you more of a behind the scenes look with this. So make sure to listen to that episode. The music was done by Paul Zaza, who also wrote that awesome The Ballad of Harry Warden song that plays at the end of this movie.
Dude, I love that song.
So good.
It's very folky. I like it.
Very folky.
Like legitimately, like unironically like it.
It kind of just like blew me away. I was like, did they really write a song about the movie? Like, okay, all right, I'm down. The budget was $2.3 million. It made $5.7 million at the box
There
office.
you go.
So not terrible for the time, especially for the type of movie it was and how
Wait a
often we
minute.
were getting these movies.
Is that Canadian dollars? Because that may be like $20 to $30.
Damn it, Adam.
Well,
Oh,
he
no.
can say it though. He's Canadian, so I think it'd be more funny if this shit was filmed in Alberta. I would like be all over him about that.
All right, well, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's jump into the plot and let's dissect
Dissect
that film.
film.
Oh,
Woo!
Fuck it up. We're gonna fuck it up
Yeah,
every
we're gonna fuck
time.
it
and
up
I
every
don't care.
time, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
It's
get
gonna
a. We're just gonna get a
I
voice.
completely missed the first.
I'm just gonna press a button just so I can just do it.
No, don't, because I want at some point when people actually listen to this show, I want them to go on YouTube and make a supercut of every time we do that. Just every fucking time. Dissect
Wonderful.
that film, dissect that film for 10 hours.
As long as I don't have
Oh,
to do
shit.
it, that's perfectly
No.
fine.
That's what we got.
I'm
It's gonna be a
totally
fan
okay
cut.
with it. Please.
Our fans
Please
will
someone
do
do
it once
that.
we get some.
So the movie opens to I in my notes it just says hi ho, a miner's life for me. And then we get a really odd like almost sex scene where you think it's just two miners like in the mine, and then it's a woman in one of the suits like stripping down, and she's got a heart tattoo. She's got the Tiffany Valentine tattoo from Bride of Chucky before Bride of Chucky. So
So
see the
I just
inspiration there.
I just thought
Jennifer
this was
Tilly.
the opening. This was exactly there you go. I thought this was just the opening cinematic to Meet and Fuck Coal Miner, and for old school Newgrounds folks,
You're
if
asking
you know,
yourself
you
if
know.
you're asking yourself if you clicked on the right video. You're like, did I click on My Bloody Valentine, or did I click on the porn parody? What's happening?
Well, it kind of looks like, because she's like, "You got a mighty fine trunk there, Elephant Man," and I'm like, "Okay." Not talking about his penis. This is actually not a
No,
metaphor.
no, it's
She's like,
weird. Yeah, so the other miner puts his pickaxe into the wall, and then she starts to strip down, and she's like stroking the tube off of
It's
the
the gas
mask, and then he sees the heart on her chest, and he just starts going into like convulsions to the point where he pushes her into the pickaxe, and you can actually the great effect of it going
"Yeah."
like poking through the skin, and then it emerges. I'm like, yes,
So good.
so
Not
good.
the penetration people were expecting, but they still got it.
But the
I just
penetration
thought
I
he-
wanted.
Not the penetration you need, not the penetration you deserve, but the penetration that you need. It's kind of cool when you
I
think
thought
about
he was
it.
just prematurely finishing.
Well, like this woman, like she has to have some weird, like Third Reich Gestapo gas mask fetish thing. I'm just like, wow, lady. I mean,
She
whatever you
was-
got to do, bro.
She was stroking it. She was stroking it.
And
real
her
hard.
hair was perfect when it came out of that mask.
Oh,
just saying.
she does the hair flip. I'm like,
Yep.
wow.
No,
She
that's
just
not how
got her
that
hair
works.
done. Yeah, she's in that suit with the mask on, the hood up. Like,
I wonder if,
there's
this,
no
if she
way.
was. I wonder if she was a lady of the night, and this dude had to pay a lot extra for some role play. Like,
Yeah, we'll never know.
"Hey, what's my motivation? Well, you're currently being kidnapped by the mole people, and
So we then jump to some more miners. Miners meaning people that work in a mine. I just want to clarify that before we go on, because I swear every single time people are they're gonna hear something weird. No, miners with an E,
Not a no.
not an O.
yes.
So they're coming up from the mine. They're showering. They're like slapping each other. They're fucking sword fighting in the showers.
Yeah, you
It's
can hear
just
like
so
people run
weird.
by and their fucking thunder cheeks clapping.
They're like snapping each other with towels.
like
and,
wrestling in the
like,
shower.
Hello?
I think they made fun of a dude for having a big dick, and I was like, that was a thing? Usually it was the other way around. Like, what?
I know, normally, like, God, and then we get more elephant.
He's like, look at that fucking
references.
python on him. Haha, loser. You're like,
I was wondering why you always had bruised thighs, you little bitch. Tuck that thing back.
he's like, the tic tac is the way to go. So they take a shower, and they're like, oh, gotta go get beers.
Yep.
And they all are running out like they're not even fully dressed yet. They're like hopping around trying to get their pants back on.
Or
Then
the
you-
other guy that's trying to help the one guy get his pants up. Like, does he need help?
It's so
Well,
funny.
Well, dude, the one dude whips a bar of soap at the other dude and like hits him in the shoulder. I thought he was like, but no, he just like lathers it in.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, I don't think that's necessary, but sure.
Yeah, you kind of meet all of our core group here, and you also find out that one of the guys is dating another guy's ex-girlfriend, and
It's
it's
a bad
weird.
guy. The guy can't buckle his own pants.
Oh,
Anyway, go
Hollis
ahead, sorry.
is the best. Okay,
He boots the fucker in the ass. He's
He
like,
does.
"Oh, shit, that's all.
but they're all getting their really cool cars
Oh, I love the cars in this
They're
fucking
Beetle
with some
Ultras.
with some banjo music playing in the background.
Well, I some highlights I want to point out is my favorite of all of these is the Volkswagen Beetle that's been converted into a pickup truck.
That's what I
Yes.
just said, the
That's
Beetle
fucking
truck.
brilliant. But like, I love the array of vehicles in this. It's just fucking wonderful.
So cool. So we find out where we are. We're in Valentine's Bluff. Wow, irony here. Huh?
Right?
So they're going to they're doing a Valentine's Day dance in the town. So they're decorating. It's way over the top. I've never seen this much decorations for Valentine's Day in my life. I understand your town is called Valentine's Bluff, but wow. Mabel,
Oh shit, dude.
you need to chill.
We
Fuck.
don't even have that much decoration for the street festival that happens downtown. We have a
No.
banner and that's it.
So but you find out why it's all happening is because they haven't had a Valentine's Day dance in the town in 20 years. So now that it is, the mayor has kind of okayed it, Mabel, who is like the organizer of the whole thing, is just going ham on decorating. Like, and all the guys show up to the like dance hall or wherever the party's going to be held, and that's when we meet. That's when we find out who's with who. Everybody's giving kisses and greeting each
Or
other.
trying to
And,
be with who?
oh, well, you got Axel kissing Sarah through the ladder. You got the one guy who legit picks his girlfriend up by her head.
I was like, is that a boy? I thought it was like a young kid that he was like picking up because all you could see was hair and that was it. I was like,
He
okay.
just grabs her head like this and lifts her a good 8 to 10 inches off the ground.
Which my brothers used to do that to me when I was a kid. I can tell you,
Nice.
it's not comfortable.
No, she seemed to have a good time.
Maybe she's into that. There are people like that.
So yeah, I have to admire Hollis's stash. That stash is glorious.
Well, do you notice Hollis and his lady are like the most like normal, like down to earth? Like she just runs up and like they give a kiss, or a
Yeah.
hug. And then,
In
like,
reality, you
the
would
normal.
probably, I think nowadays you would look at that and be like, oh wow, that's not a couple you would expect. Like that's like she's so out of his league. But it's like, but then you see him throughout the movie and he's just the coolest dude. Like I would want to be friends with this guy. Like there's not a lot of these people in this movie that I'd be like, I'd be friends with them. No, Hollis, 100% I want to be friends with that guy.
Dude, he's fucking awesome. He's so down to earth. He's like, you guys don't be fucking idiots, all right?
Yeah. So we then meet the mayor, and he's kind of iffy about the whole thing. He's just kind of nervous. He's like, we haven't had one of these dances in 20 years. Like, I just don't want something to happen. Like something could happen. And Mabel's like, can you just chill the hell out? Here, somebody gave you this gift. Or actually, no, they go to the like the dance hall, and what's his face? Howard scares him because he looks like he gets all like made up, like he has a head injury, scares them both, pretty much like pushes Mabel over. I'm like, damn, dude.
Take that, you old lady.
And of course he goes in there pretty much messing with them, and then you find out that TJ is his son, and I guess he went to the West Coast or something to try to live his life, and it didn't work out for him, so now he's back here working in the mine. And yeah, that's kind of the whole story with that. And of course it's an awkward situation because he used to date Sarah, and now Axel's with Sarah, and it's a thing that I didn't really give a shit about in this movie. Like every time something would happen with this trio, I'm like, ugh, I don't care.
Oh my god, I know. We'll get to it more later, but yes.
But the mayor and the chief have to go to another town, I guess. They're driving to another town to talk to somebody. I can't remember the exact information behind it, but the mayor gets a gift. He gets a Valentine's, like a chocolate box, but he opens it up. He gets a note, and at first, and then it throws him off because it's there's a human heart in the box.
Yep.
Yes. Well, with the very cryptic note, like the note's like very.
I can't remember what that note said.
I don't remember.
Something about the dance, stopping the dance or something. I forget what it says.
Or some of it had to do with like like forgetting, like you can't forget what happened or something like that. You're gonna do the dance or whatever. But the crazy thing is when that happens, they pull off to the side and they have to go back to the town. And when they turn around, there's a dog that just runs out into the road and almost gets hit, like an actual dog.
Yes, I was like, "There's no way that's scripted." We were like talking about this when we watched it.
Like this dog lurches at the truck and like bounces off of it and then like runs off. And I was like, I thought I was about to witness a dog dying. I was very scared.
On film. Well, at the time, nobody probably would have given a shit. Like they would have allowed it.
It's like they killed a snake a year before in Friday the 13th. So.
Well, then Cannibal Holocaust, all their dumb shit.
So in the quotes it says this is what he reads: "From the heart comes a warning, filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near."
There you go.
And he says it can't be happening again.
Yeah, he literally is like, "This can't be happening again."
He knows.
Feels kind of underacted, but okay. Like I'm more like sold by what the chief is. He's like, what the fuck? Like he's just like,
Yeah, he's like, you want to explain what the hell's going on? What the
I
hell you just
love when
got?
he opens the box though, and he sees the heart, and he's just like, "Oh,
So
Drama.
we're at like the local bar now, and we meet our crazy Ralph character of the movie, and that is the
Yes.
barkeep, and he is pretty much telling the story about what happened 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, actually, I don't know if he explains the story yet. Oh no,
Yeah,
maybe
he
he
does.
does. He does. Okay.
He does.
So 20 years ago, there
1960.
yes, because we're in 1980 in the movie. Yeah.
That's just
So
because the cake said Valentine's.
the
in
cake, yeah, it
1960.
did, yeah. So 20 years ago, there was, there were miners working, and then the
6 of them.
the supervisors left early and didn't check like what is the lethal
Methane.
gas and
methane."
the methane level. They left to go to the party before kind of letting the miners know, and then the mine blew up, and it trapped all the miners down below. And by the time they got to him, there was only one survivor, Harry Warden, who was found eating the others pretty much to survive. And he pretty much vowed revenge on the supervisors. He killed them both, and pretty much he vowed to kill anyone in later years who either got near the mine or were like partying or celebrating Valentine's Day or whatever it was. And everybody's like, "Shut up, man! You're so full of shit. Like, no one cares about this. It's just a freaking legend."
Well, the dude that worked at the bar, he was a miner. He was one of the guys that helped pull him out.
Oh yes, 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 yeah. Because he was like, "Yeah, I remember that because I'm the one who found him." So he
He's
was
like,
like the first one who saw him eating someone.
He's like, I was fucking there.
Yeah.
Death curse.
Literally, that's what I mean. It's funny as hell that this is like another Crazy Ralph, except for this character is in the movie more than Crazy Ralph ever was.
Just a little bit more.
We also get the weird song that they sing to the barmaid. Like the waitress is just getting pretty much a song about how she's a virgin and that she should get her cherry popped. And I was like, all right, well, that sucks. And she's like, oh, you guys, and like runs
Yeah.
away. So they find out the heart is real and it's from a woman who's 30 years old. And I'm like, wow, that was odd that you found that out.
Oddly specific.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, they're pretty much like, he's back. Harry Warden is back, and he's back to kill more people. And they're like, okay, I guess we gotta go back and warn everybody. We gotta stop this dance. This is when we get the laundromat scene with Mabel, where you get it kind of from a first person view of the killer as he is in the laundromat. He hides on her. She finds a Valentine's box that is left there, and she gets the note where it says, roses are red, violets are blue, one of them is dead, and so are you. And then she gets attacked, and that's that for now. That is that.
I was like, oh, he writes very good poems.
Yeah.
At least he tries. The killer's got some effort. He's got some
Oh yeah,
class.
he's not just going around killing people. He's putting some work into it.
He's putting heart into it.
Yeah. For one,
Yes, somebody else's.
the fact that he is running around this town in probably a hot ass miner's outfit to kill people. That's another kudo. Like the fact that people wear costumes to do this. It's like I'm like sweating watching this. Like just imagine wearing that mask. I can't see. It's all fogged up.
I know. No shit, dude. Well, we should state, where did you watch this movie?
On Amazon.
We actually watched a version. We found it by chance on where we watched. What movie did we watch on here? The Tarantula on archive.org.
Oh, okay.
You should support the official release, mind you. But it was on there. It was the DC remaster. So I believe it was the uncut version. And
the one that shows more of the kills. Yeah.
Yeah, they cleaned up a bunch of the it looks great, but if you want to watch it on there, you should buy the movie.
It definitely looks better than some that we've watched.
It looked pretty good.
Scream Factory actually released the 4K of this last year, I believe, or a
Oh, there you
couple
go.
years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could get that version, which I might look
Yeah.
into. So yeah, we then go to the junkyard where they're cooking food on the engines of their car. Okay, sure.
Dude, listen, this really speaks to me. That's a Dodge. No, mine's Ford. I thought it was a Dodge box. No, it's Ford.
Hey, I've watched people
Oh,
cook
hey-
food on their engine blocks. It's
Yes.
pretty impressive.
Yes. What was the movie we said that there's not a Blu-ray of? Is it The Faculty?
Yes.
That's just got announced for a Blu-ray or a 4K today.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Just so you know. I seen it. I was like, wait a minute.
Hey,
Because it was Faculty
we
and
did
Phantom
that.
paired together. So Phantoms. So we just got to wait for Phantoms to get its treatment now.
Hell yeah. I get a bowl.
We did that. We caused that.
We did. Fuck yeah, we did. We're going to take all the credit.
So during all this fun at the junkyard, this is when Axel and TJ kind of get together and kind of talk about their situation. You know, Axel's like, "Listen, man, it's like this is how it is. Like she's with me now. You just got to deal with it." They both have a harmonica off. You know, they're playing harmonicas against each other.
They play
It-
the Devil
Dueling
Went Down to
harmonica.
Georgia.
Yes. Yes, please. Please.
And this is when you start to get the real, like, deep Canadian accents coming out of these guys, especially the actor who plays TJ.
This is the man
Wow.
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, can I just say it now? I mean, I'll talk about it when we do the thing. I fucking hate both these dudes. Well, no, specifically, I hate fucking TJ.
I don't know if I hate them. Like,
Like they're like not like as the like acting or anything, but they're like TJ's a fucking asshole.
Yes, he is.
You think he
TJ's
can
very
roll back-
confusing because after this conversation, Hollis walks up to him and he's just like, "Hey, is everything good?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, I don't blame him. You know, I can't be mad at him. It's not his fault about what's going on." And it's like, okay, so this guy is not a complete douche. But then later on, he like kidnaps Sarah, brings her to a place. I guess they had sex, and is like, "You know, you want to meet it with me," and just makes out with her. And I'm like, what? What
Do
a
you remember this place?
Well, even
a
then
twist
he
here.
says one of the other lines he says the whole was it's nobody's fault. It's your fucking fault, TJ. Stop fucking with other people just because you
Yeah.
can't go back and make it. You left for however long to go, you know, smack your dick against a maple tree back in the west coast of Canada or wherever the fuck you were. And you can't come back here and just think that everything's going to be normal again. Like these people were established and you're fucking everything up for them.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, she even says like, you didn't call, you didn't try to communicate with me. So like, what was I supposed to do? I'm not going to wait for you. Like if you had
Well,
called
she
me and
left.
said, "Hey, you know, we work something out and whatever," but
No.
you just left and just, that was it.
Yep.
So this is when the chief calls I guess the hospital that Harry Warden is supposed to be at. And they're like, "We have no records of Harry Warden." And I'm like, "What do you mean? He's been there for 20 years. What do you mean you don't have a record?" You later find out the whole twist and still
Which
like,
is good.
yeah, but it's the fact of like, where do you just throw the records away?
I feel like there was some tampering.
Oh, absolutely. Because
I
it just
think
doesn't
after
make
a certain
sense.
point, they throw them away.
And even the chief is like, "What? Huh? Can you, okay, yeah, just find some info and let me know." Like, what the,
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm listening to right now.
They ask her to dig through the microfiche.
I like Hollis's
Yep.
hat. Kiss my ass.
Oh, dude, I want his hat. Hollis is like my fucking hero in this movie, dude.
Oh, he's the best. He is literally the best part of this movie. So yeah, this is Sarah doesn't want to go to the dance because she doesn't know what to do with these two guys. I'm like, you are with one guy. Like you are with Axel. What is the confusion here? I understand your ex-boyfriend's back, you're still in love with him, blah blah blah, but you're currently with this dude. If you don't want to be with him, break up with him.
Yeah, shit or get off the pot, lady.
Like it shouldn't be this thing where it's like, I don't know who to choose. It's like, I don't think that's how it works when you're technically in the relationship with one guy. Just because you used to be in a relationship with the other guy. Like I don't think that's how that works, Sarah.
I know they're supposed to be younger people, but this shit just all comes off like high school drama.
Yeah, because
And
they're
they seem
not
a
in
little-
high school.
They're not in high school.
No.
Because they're
Everybody's
able to
drinking
drink,
constantly.
which I think in Canada is 18.
I don't know.
But plus, they all work at a coal mine. It looks like
Exactly.
they've been there for a while.
Yeah.
So they're at least in their mid-20s at least.
I forgot to mention that earlier when when they come up from the mine. There's like the lower level guys, like the guys who haven't been there that long, that they make them walk all the way back instead of riding up. And then I was listening to another podcast talking about the movie. It's like, That's like a 3-mile walk. I'm like,
Listen,
what?
Their legs are fine.
Listen, we talked about mines and shit not long ago on the show. So we go back and watch our Rodan episode. We actually talked about the same fucking shit for a while. But they didn't make
Oh
anybody
my
walk.
God, that's right. There is a
Yep.
scene in this movie that is almost identical to a scene in Rodan. That is wild.
Yep.
I didn't think that Rodan was going to get connected to anything else we talked about, but
I didn't think until we started watching Meat and Fuck Coal Miners.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. We're just playing it a different way.
6 Degrees of Rodan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is when the sheriff goes and visits Mabel, and he finds a little bit more than he wanted to as he opens up one of the dryers, and her melted body just flops out of there.
We called this. He's
so relaxed.
saying she's in the. He's like she's in the dryer.
You can see one of the dryers has blood
but
on it.
it's before then. I was like, damn, she's got a good beat going on.
Well, at first he takes off the big heart that was on one of them and kind of like
Because
turns
it's
it
turned
upside
down.
Turns upside down. Yeah, and he was kind of like, huh. And then he opens. You see the blood on the inside, and he opens it up.
How he missed it.
The effects look really cool on her.
Yeah, it was really good.
The reason he takes the heart off to begin with is because he doesn't notice it right away, but all the hearts are flipped upside down.
But he passes it twice.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's not looking for that. He's just looking for her.
But he's standing right beside the dryer.
Our daughter walked
and he's
by me when I was walking, hiding behind a chair. That she could easily see me behind him. She walked by me twice. If you're not looking for it, you're not looking for it.
So this is when you go back. Axel and TJ go at it in the mine.
They start making out viciously.
Yeah, it was like deep tongue tickle in the back of the throat. It was weird. I was like, "What movie are we watching?" No, I'm just kidding. No, they like start going at it down there, and Hollis is like, "Can we not down here? Like, what are we doing?"
He fucking like chokes one of them, doesn't he? Or is that
later? No, that was a later scene. Yeah,
fucking arm lock and then chokes his ass. Why is she using pancake mix as like fucking cleaning?
I think it's
detergent.
Borax.
Just kidding.
So we then go back to the laundromat, and why are we all hanging out in here? Like, why are we like the mayor's in there now? They're like the mayor's like smoking a cigar, and he's like, "Oh, the smell." He's like, "Go outside." Is the cigar so important right now?
Yeah, I know, right? Allow us to tamper with the fucking crime scene.
Yeah, and
he already has. He's put his hand all over the dryer.
Well, he also discovers that there's a Valentine inside her chest cavity where her heart was.
Yeah.
That was good.
Which is a really good, really cool touch there.
And
pretty much this is
the hole in my heart where you used to be.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Go ahead.
And this is
there's a hole in her chest where her heart used to be.
This pretty much solidifies the fact that the dance is canceled. Like people are dead now. Like the woman who organized the whole thing is dead brutally. So yeah, I don't think we're doing a dance. I like how everybody's like, "Well, what are we supposed to do? We were so excited." It's like, did you not hear me? 2 people are dead. Mabel is dead.
Listen, if you go around screaming Harry Warden, we're gonna have a panic on Valentine's weekend.
Oh, there was a couple scenes that really had a Jaws flashback.
Yeah. I thought about like the mayor's not an asshole. He's not like that. He wants to stop. Like I just get the vibes from him.
No, this town is literally built on that coal mine and that bar.
Yes.
And rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times did they not learn about Halloween? Like, hey, somebody died. Let's maybe not go trick or treating.
Right? No. Never.
They still went trick or treating.
This is we talked about this scene already. I'll just kind of breeze through the fact that TJ just kidnaps Sarah at her job. She's like, "I don't want to go. He's like, "Don't worry, get in the car." She's like, he kidnaps her from her job. I'm like, okay.
And stuffs her ass in the fucking Camaro. Like, get in there, bitch.
Yeah, and
Jesus, lady.
And then they go down to this spot that they supposedly did it at. It's like, "Do you remember this spot?" And then you get this really somber music, and I'm just looking around going, what movie am I watching right now? Like, what is going on? I don't care about any of this.
No.
And this is when you get another, like, just, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And yeah, you get the awkward makeout session.
Dude, it's so weird, dude. Like, this lady is, I hate this because this just feels like shitty teen drama. It really is what it fucking feels like.
So yeah, she's walking home. You get I actually like the scene. You get the tense scene where she's walking back through a neighborhood. It just looks like a bunch of shacks. And you think like she's going to be the next one to go, but she actually runs into the chief with his 4.5 foot long Maglite.
So, yes.
This thing was a baseball bat with a flashlight at the end. Like, holy shit. I knew
Oh,
Maglites were big, but wow, that one was big. He could have had 4 people holding that thing at the same time.
What if he's got smaller mag lights inside of it in case that one dies? He's just like, here's my mag light.
Screws the back. It's 2 now, or it's like Darth Maul's lightsaber. He just like
and like breaks it in half. Da-da! Fucking Duel of Fates.
We used to have a flashlight. Dad probably still has it. Those things eat batteries.
Dude, I've heard stories of people like, why do they have such big flashlights? They can fucking bludgeon people with it if they needed to. Like, that's what they were for.
It was so
But
big.
the one he had, also, you could twist the end, and it would
adjust the beam.
Expand the beam. You could light up the whole neighborhood.
Surprised fucking Commissioner Gordon doesn't have. Let's call the bats. Like,
yeah, that's all he needs.
He's just standing on top of one of the buildings. Come on, Batman! My arms are getting tired.
Well, with all them Timu whatever flashlights always advertise, it's like a fucking solar flare and a fucking in your hand.
What?
Why doesn't Gordon have one of those?
I
like,
made
Batman!
that. Timu, remember? I made that comment during this movie, and I cannot remember where I made it.
Shopping like a billionaire.
Damn it! That's what I said. Stupid ads.
Man.
I'm still gonna shop there, but stupid ads.
So back at the bar, they are bummed that there's no party, and they're like, "Oh, what if we had a party at the mine?" Like there's like a rec building that they have like a pool table party, like pretty much have a party there. And they're like, "Yeah," and of course the barkeep's like, "Nah, no party. Harry Warden's gonna come for you. He's gonna kill you." And they're like, "Shut up. We're gonna go."
Well, TJ's a fucking asshole anyway. He walks, like, before all this happens, he walks up to the barkeep and he's like, "Yeah, man," I don't remember the barkeeper's name. I can't fucking recall.
I don't know.
He's like, "Hey, I want another one." Instead of just sitting on the counter, just fucking whips the bill at him. They haven't even started arguing, just throws the fucking money at him. His name's Happy?
Yeah.
Yes, his name is Happy. He's not happy.
No, he's not happy. Damn,
it's a very ironic name.
Oh, but he like after the party is planned, he's just like, "Assholes."
Yep.
He tries to warn him, but nobody wants to listen to him.
Yeah, and then you see this drunk old man wandering through the mine, or like wandering through the area I think is the mine, and he's breaking in. You're like, "Who's this dude?" And then you find out it's the barkeep, like dressed up in the mine outfit, and he's gonna set up like a contraption to prank the kids to scare them away. So he sets up like this whole thing that he has to check 6 times. Like he keeps opening, he's like, and he shuts it. He's like, he just keeps doing it until he opens it one too many times, and Harry Warden's there and puts his pickaxe through his chin, and in the unrated cut where you actually get to see it, it pokes out his eye.
That's the one we watched.
I didn't see that in my version.
Sorry, it looks so good.
No, I've seen it. They showed it in the kill count, so I
if
was able
he would have
to
walked away from the time
he
before
was drunk.
and not second guessed it, because he's like, wait a minute, and he goes back because I called it. I'm like, he's gonna be in there.
I don't know if he was second guessing. I think he was just having too much fun with it. Like he was laughing every time he'd open that door.
Well, because
he is pissed off like every other time you see him. So
but
this is like
then,
a cute little bit you get to see him having.
well, he's laughing, and then you see his face kind of go, huh, and he turns back around. It's like, don't, just go opposite direction. Just keep going.
Did you notice? I wonder,
because he's like, huh.
I know why. It just hit me why he doesn't. Because the last time he goes to check it, the third time he opens the door, the arm doesn't come up.
Yeah. So he realizes something's wrong.
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
no,
he reset
bye.
the arm the other 2 times. And he's like, wait a minute, maybe it's just me. And he goes back and checks it, and then that's when.
No, just go.
Even
the
though I
opposite
kept calling
direction.
him Harry Shearer for some reason. I don't know why.
The funny thing was, for me, I noticed this when I watched the movie, but also it was verified when I was listening to a podcast talking about this movie, was why did Harry, or who we assume is Harry, kill him when he is warning people of it? He's kind of on Harry's side. Like he's just like, he knows that Harry's a real thing. Like, why does he just kill him because he's there? Like, is Harry just killing to kill? Based on this kill, yes. There is no
Well,
like
and
rhyme or reason behind what he's doing, other than
Well-
he doesn't want people having fun on Valentine's Day.
True, and what we find out later at the end, like in the climax, it kind of makes sense because he's like, if this person keeps going, he's going to spoil my fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we don't
that
need to
makes
scare everybody away. I'm assuming that's the
yeah,
idea.
I just assumed that he was
Assuming.
trying to keep people from, keep the bartender from scaring people off. He still wants them to do their stuff so he can have his fun.
So the chief gets a Valentine from Mabel, but it's too late. Like he thinks it's like another bloody gift, but it's actually chocolate. So, and he's kind of confused. But then he hears barking outside, so he goes outside and he sees dogs going after this another Valentine's box. And I guess these were actually like stray dogs. Like these weren't actually dogs from the production. These were stray dogs, because there's a dog that goes after the chief. Like he's literally like like going after him, and this dude doesn't flinch. He's just like, get out of here, get out of here.
See, that's what I thought. I
These
was like,
dogs
this
were
doesn't look-
acting for free.
No, they were stray dogs, I guess.
I kind of like the chief's reaction when he opens it, and then he does realize it's from Mabel, but then it kind of hits him that she's dead, and she's like,
Yeah.
Right.
But he's also like, this one, he was like, I'm gonna go check on the mine again just to see what's going on over there. So yeah, the party. It's pretty cool. I wish I went to this party. Pretty
Not what they
sweet.
were fucking serving for food.
Oh, the damn boiled hot dogs.
you mean the gray
Fuck
hot dogs?
those. If
Well, you
you
don't-
ever have grown up eating boiled hot dogs, please do yourself a favor
And stop.
and
Fucking stop.
broil them
hot
in the oven.
I love
Boiled hot dogs.
I love boiled hot dogs. I love hot dogs. I eat hot dogs raw.
My dad does too. I can't do it.
You're disgusting.
I'm gonna judge you silently.
No,
we used
I
to-
will judge you
Dude,
not
we used,
silently.
We used to boil hot dogs. My mom used to. And,
I used to
and,
all
like,
the time.
Once we got together, we started broiling them. Why do we do
No.
that? Dude?
Because you tried to boil the first night that we had hot dogs. Stop it. I need to use my hand, sir.
I just want to grab your finger.
He brings out a pot and puts water in it. I was like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I'm making the hot dogs. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. I'm like, you turn that broiler on right now.
Mind you, when we first got together, she was not this sassy. I just want to point that out. But carry on. There's a little bit of embellishment.
Listen, for the longest time, if I wanted hot dogs and I wanted them to be hot, I would put some slice. I put some slices in them, and I put them in the microwave for a minute.
That wouldn't be
That's
as
acceptable.
That wouldn't be as bad as
It's
boiling
either-
them in hot water.
Hot dogs for me though have to be on the grill. They have to be grilled. They have to have some sort of char on them. I love
So if
burnt
you put
hot
if you
dogs.
if you broil them in the oven,
It's just an upside.
that's what you get.
You just
It's basically a cheaper version of putting them on the grill.
Yeah,
We
if you
didn't have a grill growing up.
If you don't have a grill accessible, it's the same thing. It's just flipped. Except if you want like the charcoal flavor, like we use a gas grill, but if you use charcoal, you won't get that. That's literally just a grill upside down if you broil it. So that's normally what we do. You guys can do what you want, but listen, if you boil something in water, it takes the flavor away. So you know, water does not add flavor. If you're injecting water into something, you're taking it away. So
What do you mean?
just throwing that out there. Anyway, carry on. I like how we had a hot dog ethics conversation.
Yeah.
Here.
Gotta have our side
Very
tangents, you know?
Yeah.
There's more to love triangle problems that I don't give a shit about. We get two of the characters that go off and are about to do it in the prep room where everybody has their uniforms hanging up.
Yes.
I'm
But
assuming because she's like, "How did you get these down?" It's
I
everybody's.
just
clothes.
love. She's like, "Oh, we do need something," and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got it." Whips out a condom. She's like, "No, I need a beer." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
What'd
You're
you
like,
say about
"Oh,
condom?
boy."
No, I said, "Oh, I just have this condom in my wallet. You know, the one that was tacked up to the board."
Little pinholes aren't going to matter. I can't get out to that.
Mom left me one.
The funniest thing is when he leaves to go get the beer, she's like, "Well, that's never gonna end well." Knowing
Did
what
your wife watch this with you?
she watched most of it, probably the majority of it with me. Yeah. So yeah, this is when. Oh, we forgot to mention that one of the characters gets his face boiled
In the hot dog water.
in the hot dog
Chocolate
water.
starfish and the hot dog flavored
I
water.
mean, he probably shit his pants too at this point. Just
Oh,
saying.
absolutely. But then we're back there because the guy who left his girlfriend in that room to go get some beers goes into the kitchen as the girls are fucking with the hot dogs, but then they pull out a boiled heart and they're like, ew. And it's like, that is not my reaction to seeing that. Mine is like, that's a human heart. Okay. Like, you're not
Yeah.
mistaking that for anything else.
Yeah, and the people are like, "'Cause it's got just the guys fucking around. Why would you
Yeah.
continue to eat the hot dogs?"
Yeah. Ugh. And of course, because of them reacting to the heart, the guy gets too distracted when he grabs the beers where he doesn't see the dude's body in the fridge.
He's just chilling.
He's just chill.
Literally.
This is when
ventilating
this
his
is when the
chest.
dude's girlfriend gets attacked by the coats. Oh no! The
I don't
face
believe in
to the
dry
side-
cleaning. What the
The
fuck?
face to the side of it, because before she's like, "Show me how you pull. How do you get him
Yeah.
down?" It's like, pull that string. And it's like, you just tell her to pull. You just tell her that you pull the string to get him down. You don't have to have her. Oh, that's
Yeah, because
so
she gets hit in the
cool.
face with
Yeah,
a
just
jacket. Like,
knocks
I
her
don't
out.
I don't know how clothing storage works in Canada. Why can't we just hang them on a rack?
I don't know, Dan.
Just call it Centos. They'll just bring it on a rack. Just hang it
This
up.
is also
I don't know.
1980, but all right.
I don't know
Did they
how
not
long.
have Did they not have hangers in 1980?
Listen, it's a coal mine. Do you think they were really?
They probably didn't care as long as their clothes didn't touch the
I
floor.
don't think they were. They were
I think
worried
she
about
has
that
a
type of shit.
She has more hot dog.
Why
water
did
than
she pour more juice into the hot dogs? Why? We gotta
We
mix
have
the
it-
broth together. It won't taste good.
We have it going, and it's the part where she
Listen.
pulls the heart out, but she's like dumping more like not regular water into this pot. Like,
Oh my
ugh.
I
God.
know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the company that sells bouillon cubes, and I'm gonna make hot dog flavored bouillon cubes. You just put it in your dick.
Introducing the chocolate starfish, hot dog
Hot
flavored
dog
water.
flavored water. Fucking
I am
crazy.
sure that there would be people that would buy that.
Oh, I know they would. Dude, they have the straw that they drink out of the fucking glizzy.
The fact
just
that
like
you
the
just
taste of
used
meat
the
in my
word
mouth.
glizzy. Thank you, Dan.
I don't normally use that. Thank you to the internet and my children for that.
It-
Oh,
Normally I say
Lord.
hot dogs.
Our children, they're like
Oh,
glizzies
boy.
and wieners, and they
I-
think it's funny.
My daughter says wiener, and I fucking love it. It's hilarious. I cannot not have her. Just like how she says Tootsie Rolls.
She says Tootsie.
She says Tootsie Rolls. It's
I love
fucking
it.
wonderful. I said always say that,
Do
never
you,
change.
do you look at her and go, Tootsie Rolls are disgusting?
I love Tootsie
No,
Rolls.
So
we love them.
They're so awful.
I love them.
See, there we go.
I'll send you a bag. I'll
boiled
send you a
hot
bag
dog.
of Tootsie Rolls that are sitting in my cabinet that no one in my house
Please.
is gonna touch. It's like candy corn.
Please.
Get both those shits
Ugh.
out of here.
Okay, I can. Okay. I'm gonna go off on another tangent here. People complain about candy corn
Because it's gross. Yeah.
being the worst Halloween candy.
It's
What
not.
about the damn peanut butter kisses and the orange and black wrappers? Those things are fucking disgusting.
Or the taffy?
Oh, is
the
that that's
taffy
just
that
like
you-
the generic ones, right? It's not. It's like the knockoff Reese's peanut butter cups.
No, it's talking
No,
about
they're like chewy.
they're like almost like a taffy kind of.
You'll see them as like they're like Mary Jane's or whatever is the company name.
Sounds
There's not even
good.
They're
weed
just-
in them.
They're disgusting. They're worse than candy corn. I can at least eat a handful of candy corn and be, fine. Mm-mm. You take one of those peanut butter kisses and you're chewing on it for, 15, 20 minutes. No,
Ugh, nasty.
it doesn't taste like
No
peanut butter.
bueno.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Flicks and Friends podcast. I'm Dustin.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Sean. Join us each week as we sift through movies and discuss a variety of theme months and determine whether they're blockbusters or blockbusted.
Previous themes include Animation Month, 80s horror, and under 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, just to name a few. We have weekly guests, fan favorites, and new guests happen all the time over here. So buckle up and enjoy the ride.
But until next time, I'm still Dustin.
And I'm still Paul.
And I'm Sean.
And this is the Flicks and Friends podcast.
Yeah, so she's fighting off the Coates, and then she gets attacked by the miner, and he shoves her face into the shower.
Yeah, and the shower
So
heads
great.
are actually just the pipes, but they're crimped.
Yep.
Like they're crimped down, which I get it for efficiency, it works. But my epiphany moment is the way she died with the pipe is the same way her boyfriend lifted her up to kiss her by the head. Exactly the fucking same.
Oh.
That is
That was my
her.
epiphany moment. Watch this again. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
Yeah,
so if anybody's
because
watching
the
this
way
video,
the way that the miner picks her
Yep.
up is exact. Yeah. See,
And
in
so
my
if-
version, you don't see the extent of the kill. Even when he discovers her, you only see it from like a slight angle. You can see that it's coming out of her mouth. Where in
Oh no,
the
you
other
see it
version,
head
you
on.
see it head on of him reacting.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's like fucking spasming, and then the killer like reaches up and just turns the water on after it happens.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
fucking
assumed that
great.
he was gonna like hook her
Well, I thought that on
where
the
the coats are.
So I thought this dude's like, no, above and beyond.
No, I
Like,
want it
this
to be
is gonna
creative.
happen.
We're gonna,
Yeah, dude, this dude-
we're gonna have the shower head coming through her mouth. Like,
Yeah, it's
It was
fucking-
great.
It's
it was
wild.
really cool, really cool. So they want to make the party more interesting. So Hollis goes, "Hey, why don't we go?" Oh no, I think it was Hollis's girlfriend, Patty, was like, "Oh, can we go down to the mine? Can we go down to the mine?" He's like, "Not supposed to. It's dangerous, but okay." And I was like, "Why? This seems awful. I don't want to go down there." They get down there and then they ask for a tour.
Yeah.
This is when they're down in the mine is when the dead start getting discovered above. You know, they find the dude who gets his face boiled.
Yep.
In the fridge. They find, or the guy, the boyfriend of the girl, the shower girl, comes in, tells about her death, and so everybody's freaking out. They all leave. I love how this was something that me and my wife laughed at. When they go outside and everybody's leaving in their cars, and of course TJ has to sit there and like wave his arm, like, are they just gonna stop if you don't wave them to go? He's like, go! And it's like, why do you have to do that?
Right? And even
He
though
just
there's
needs to take his little his scarf off his head,
Oh, yeah.
throw it up, and go. "Ooh."
yes, and well, I mean, fucking TJ has got the damn neckerchief.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to pull it off and tell him to go. Yes.
Dude, like, okay. Okay, so this interesting correlation. This reminds me a lot of the two separate. We haven't talked about it on the show, but we've watched it, and then the recent Movie Dumpster did a recent video of it. But the burning, where you have the two separate groups of survivors.
Yeah.
You have like the group for the burning. You have the group that went and paddled on down the river and went and did that thing, and you have the people back home, and you kind of have this. You have the people up top, and you have the people in the mine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a neat little extra dynamic. Dude, I'll tell you what, this dude with the black hair and the girl with the red hair and the blue shirt, which you find them later, dude, I swear to God, that dude just fucking. When you see his face, man,
He
can
looks
just,
like
like,
another actor, like another guy who I've seen in movies like recently.
that was what I was
Like,
going
it
to say.
could be
I
his
just assumed he
dad.
used I just assumed he used his face to excavate the stone instead of a pickaxe, but that could just be me.
I can't stand the nerdy guy that tries to hit on
The
the.
practical
Howard.
Joker.
Howard.
Yeah, he's kind of goofy.
I can't stand him.
That's one goofy looking fucker. I think that dude's a goofy looking fucker. So I would know.
He's always trying to get in her pants.
Oh,
He's trying to
absolutely.
get in everybody's face. He's trying to be
You
the
always have
funny
to.
guy.
You have to have.
Yeah.
You always have to have that character.
know,
There's
but-
always that character in these movies.
Like,
Yeah,
bye.
that's true.
So, of course, Axel and TJ, they band together. They go down to the mines to rescue everybody that's down there because they don't know what's going on. Harry is making it hard for everybody down there because he's going around just destroying all the lights while
Yep.
they're just trying to find their way out. This is when the chief is then told by one of the groups that left the party to say what was going on. So then he gathers a posse, like the entire town bands together and goes to the mine.
He's like, listen, everybody, evil dies tonight.
Oh no.
Evil minds tonight. I'm sorry. It's different. It's totally different.
Evil minds tonight.
Yes.
No, mind you, I need to point this out though, because
Safety
while the
first.
killing first starts at this party, the sheriff actually gets there and immediately leaves once he gets there because he gets called back from the lady from the insane asylum. Like he literally is at the front gates of the mine and turns around.
Yeah, but was
and
the party
leaves.
going on at that point?
Yes, it was.
It was.
Like the
Yeah,
dude, the
they're-
hot dog. This is after the dude got his face pulled in the hot dog water, but nobody had
Oh,
the
okay.
Limp Bizkit album.
I
said
thought
nobody had found him yet.
I thought that happened right after Crazy Ralph's brother was there setting up his prank.
No, see that did happen because he was going to go check on it, and then he left for some reason. I don't remember why. But then he starts to go back because he's like, "Oh, the party has to be there." It's like, "Oh, your lady called," and then he leaves. Like right as he pulls up, he's instantly whips around. People are dying. Of course, nobody knows it yet, but
They'll be fine. Just walk it off.
yeah.
So TJ finds the group. Hollis finds Mike and Harriet, who are the two randos who went down there with them. They get
That's
a
to do with
corpse.
the cleave. He cleaves with his face. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they need to separate from the group to go do their dirty
Yeah.
I
stuff.
need to stick it in her pooper. He's like,
Yeah,
"I'll be
'cause-
back in 10 minutes." He's like, "Yeah, it's more like 2, Mick. Come on."
Yeah, because Harriet was the barmaid who they were singing to before, and yeah, they go in because they were gonna have sex, and then they get corkscrewed together, so they actually got screwed.
Yeah, somebody did. That whole song came full circle, dude.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yes.
And then Hollis, of course, is the one who finds him, and he gets a couple nails to the dome.
Poor guy, dude.
He gets it
died
in the
fucking-
temple, and then he gets it in the forehead, and still is able to leave the room and run into everybody else, but then he collapses and dies. And this
Poor
is
guy,
when
dude.
Patty just flips and becomes.
Ugh.
Listen, I understand she's grieving, and it's like it's
I
a
can't stand
lot.
this.
But this is when Sarah literally has to like slap her to motivate her, like just Kaka. We gotta
Yeah.
move.
I said Hollis got nails into the least likely, the least lethal places because you can survive here.
You can
and
survive
here
your
because-
temple. I thought your temple was like one of like the.
So you can survive if it hits you like directly in the middle because your brain is only connected further back. So I just assumed that he got hit like directly between the lobes of his brain. And I was like, poor dude, he probably can't see anything.
What? Yeah, because
And he probably doesn't know where
Yeah.
he is because I'm pretty sure your memory
Is your frontal
is
lobe.
your frontal lobe. So he probably can't remember anything, and he's just kind of like,
Well, most what I've heard is from snipers is the lethal zone. Of course, a bullet goes a lot further than a nail. The lethal zone is like the T between the eyes and then down the brim of the nose.
But
like if
it's-
you shoot, it'll go.
it's further. I think I don't know.
But that's what I've heard from people who've been in the military.
Yeah.
Like, but a bullet goes further than a nail. So if you're sniping, you're shooting something heavy.
But poor kid.
I know, and he's the best fucking
I know.
character.
It was like the worst, man. I was so
That
sad when he
sucks.
goes. But of course, yeah, Patty is all bent out of shape.
But when they do lobotomies, it's right here, right behind your eyeball.
I was
Yeah,
always
but I mean,
told. I was always told growing up the temple is like that's
Yeah,
like
me too.
That's always a instantaneous thing, or it's gonna fuck you up real bad, real quick.
Well, let's
I
be
mean, he
honest,
probably was.
between reality and what's depicted on. I'm not saying for you, Parker, but what's the reality and what's depicted on movies and films? People
Oh,
are
yeah.
a lot more durable than they show in
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
Just fall down the stairs
How
and
many
instantly
times?
die.
Yeah, I've fallen down the stairs.
Yeah.
How
I've
many
yet to
times
explode.
have we seen people get like shot 6 or 7 times and they're like,
Oh yeah, I
I'm
watched
good.
I shot him
Yeah.
6 times.
6
Yes.
times, Sheriff. 6 times.
And he was perfectly fine.
Dude, well, we watched a lot of police shooting videos, like just because the guy does it fucking
Dude.
hilarious, and like there's a reason why ammo you use matters because people like if you don't hit something vital, people will keep trucking. They have adrenaline and everything. They'll keep fucking going. People like if you shoot
It's
him in the
crazy.
head, they'll go down. No,
No.
when you're in an adrenaline situation, you ain't got time to shoot nobody in the fucking head. Anyway, not time for that shot placement stuff, but that's what that made me think of.
So yeah, Howard just ups and leaves them. Just bye.
Just runs off.
Yeah. And Patty's like,
Practical
we can't leave
Joker.
him there. We can't leave him there. And it's like, well,
He's
what do you-
dead.
I was like, he's dead. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna carry him? You both, just the two of you, still
That's what
probably
we
wouldn't be
said.
able to move him.
You're just gonna grab him by the arm and
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Okay, listen. Hollis, is that his name? Hollis, right?
Yeah.
Hollis.
Dude, he's a bigger guy, and that's fine. But the dude there's no way he weighs less than 250. There's no fucking way.
Dead weight weighs a lot.
250 dead weight. Neither one of these girls are dragging him out, and they certainly probably aren't doing it together.
No.
Just come back for him. This body isn't going to vanish. I know it. I could understand this is an unrealistic situation that probably none of us have been in, but you can't do anything for the guy.
Sorry, honey. If you got hit with nails and you collapsed, I would leave you.
I'd be like, oh, I'm hit, dear. Go on without me. And I'd roll over and she'd already be gone. Like, I'll probably be all right. They're really just flesh wounds at best. And she's already gone.
Now I'll find you later.
He's like, I can walk. I
swear. It's like fucking not Ace Ventura. Fuck. Austin Powers.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm really okay.
Only a flesh wound.
Oh, man. I love it, though, because so TJ runs into them, finds them, and was going to bring him out, and he hears somebody else thinking it's Harry and fucking picks up a log and just smokes TJ in the stomach. I meant Axel's the one who finds him.
What the fuck did you do that for?
He's like, I thought you were Harry. And he's like, do I look like Harry? He's like, well, I didn't know. I didn't see you.
I don't think he can see you.
I can't. I don't have the angle of that camera right now.
Yeah.
So this is when they find out the elevator's broken. So they're like, okay, well, we got to climb because there's a ladder that goes up to the surface. And they get pretty decently the way up there. Like they're pretty far up. And that's when Howard's body falls. And it sprays the girls with blood because his head detaches from his body. And his body just flops to the ground.
Fucking decapitated.
Which I was telling my wife, I've heard this actually happens on certain lynchings.
Yeah.
I have heard that
thrown
too.
from high enough, the head will just rip off the body.
But damn, it was like past clapping, your collarbone, like
half a shoulder. Like,
I was like, hello.
That was just how the effect went, and they were like, we're not.
It was great.
Again.
No, it was cool as fuck. Like it was neat.
But the thing is they start climbing down, and at first I was like, why are they going down? But then I was like, oh, well, most likely it's because Harry's above them.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, probably not a good idea to go up there. So
that's what I was thinking too. We were talking about like, I get it.
Yeah. So their new thing is to get to the rail cars to get back up. Axel just, I guess, falls into a 60-foot hole of water. Like, okay. Because you hear a splash. He's like, I'm going to go this way. And you hear like a splash. Oh, and splash. And then they go over and TJ's like, well, I can't save him. That's like 60 feet deep.
Fuck him. Like, dude, it's 60 feet deep, but you could swim. Like I know you'd probably sink a little bit from your gear, but just take the stuff off and swim back up.
Maybe he can't swim.
Maybe he can't.
I haven't been in this situation
He's
yet.
Like, I've lived in my mountains my whole life. There's never been a lake near me before. Or it's the Megan urine. They're in this cave too, like in Rodan. The little fucking Ona holes. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. And they pulled him under.
So then you think that TJ's dead. You think like something happens to him because he kind of just disappears. And so it's only Sarah and Patty now wandering through the tunnel, and then they run into...
Where did TJ go?
He just disappeared.
He disappears.
I know. I was like, what the fuck, man?
I think you get a shot of him getting attacked, and so you think like he dies. Like he gets attacked, he's gone. And so it's just the two girls, and they run into the miner. They run into Harry. And Patty just gets in the gut. She just gets that pickaxe.
Thump. Oh, dude, it's good.
So good.
So
she talked about getting drilled. And she definitely did. Well, not
yeah.
drilled, but she got thumped hard, baby.
Oh, thumpy, thumpy.
He got all up in them guts.
Mixing them around.
Ugh.
So the chief shows up to the mine with the entire town. The entire town is behind him. Coming. I love how the another thing that was unnecessary that they had to do, I guess, was the chief standing in the middle of the area where everybody's driving and directing people where to park. Like, I feel they could figure it out.
Okay, this reminds me. No, wait. Is it maybe later? No, it's here. Remember when not TJ, Axel falls in the water?
Yeah.
And then fucking Sarah is like, we can't leave him. And this is literally the exact same thing that found a Hollis.
I was thinking
I'm like,
the same thing. I'm like, you just yelled at Patty because she said we can't leave him, and you were like, he's dead. We got to keep going. But then your boyfriend dies, and you say the same thing, and everybody's supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, we'll have to go get him." Like, no, it wasn't going to change.
She was on the other foot.
Listen, Sarah, don't be disrespectful to Mrs. Mayonnaise, all right? You're not the same thing.
She ketchup and mayonnaise. Oh my gosh.
So
I don't know how many people got that joke. I may have gone. Anyway. I just wanted to make a Doug reference, all right? Don't take this from me.
Damn it.
So
anyhow,
I wasn't thinking that until you said that, and now I've got the things.
Well, her last name should have been Ketchup based on her dress.
Oh, she's ketchup. Oh, there's mayonnaise.
What was the one? I can't remember the kill where we talked about somebody had like. Was it her? Yeah, it looks like she has like a savage bowel movement when she like takes it. Or who's that? Somebody else. We talked about them shitting their pants like instantly. When
it was the sound she makes when she when she gets killed. I'm like,
her bowel just instantly lets go.
I'm like, is she pooping over there? Yeah, it was just the sound.
Also,
I don't allow anyone to shit in my mind.
I mean, these two women are running around with their puppies, no support. Those things are.
Dude, they've got heels on. They're climbing ladders with heels. Like,
oh, there was one camera shot that I don't know if it was. They just wanted that camera shot, and we're like, "Oh shit, we forgot that two of the actresses are wearing dresses." Because there's a straight up dress shot of Patty.
It's when what's his face is climbing up behind them. She's like, go slower because Ketchup can't climb faster. That's where I can't remember their names at this
Patty
point.
Mayonnaise.
She's Patty Mayonnaise.
No, she's Sarah.
It's Patty and Sarah.
Patty Mayonnaise.
But because you see the shot from below, and then the next scene you see her and she's got her legs turned. So it's like I think they kind of realized after that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's just like nips are at the ready for both these women throughout the entire movie.
It's probably
Turkey's
cold
done.
and they don't have bras on.
Are they digging holes in Boughton? Sorry.
No, they're running around with the least amount of clothes on.
So yeah, so TJ just miraculously comes back to life. Like he's back. He's like, it was a flush wound.
It was a fluke.
Fucking Sarah, like Patty gets murked, right?
Yeah.
And she gets ventilated, and fucking Sarah runs around the corner, and like that's as far as she gets. And then like, why did you not go further away? Like what the fuck? What's wrong with you? Like,
oh man. And then we get possibly the slowest. Just, I don't know. Like, is this fight in slow motion where TJ and Harry are fighting? You have one who has, I think, doesn't he have a pipe or something?
Just shovel
the
pickaxe,
and
the
pick. Yeah, and it's literally like, you're like,
but everybody, they're all like climbing each car.
Well, no, this was before they jump on the rail car.
Well, when they get, but
like when they get on the car, because Harry just throws himself. On the
No,
car.
Harry doesn't. TJ does. Harry he sticks the pickaxe in the last car and kind of just slowly climbs on it.
Well, no, but I think they do show twice because Harry gets on, and then like we literally just watched like TJ gets on, and like Harry's just like, and then it cuts to him with the pickaxe.
Oh, I thought TJ was the one who just like just dives into it.
There's some inconsistencies toward the end of this movie with filming. I feel like the ending of this movie was like maybe rushed a little bit just to get it done.
Could have been.
It's like, excuse me, it's like Sarah running 2 feet away from the killer. Like, I'm fine. He'll never find me here behind this wall as I breathe loudly. Anyway, go ahead.
It's like their fight with the pickaxe and the shovel.
Well, Duel of Fates play.
TJ holds the shovel up like this, like, and then Harry is like,
yeah, it's so slow. Like it's so
like,
laughably slow.
What are we doing with this
fight? It's so funny. But then they get to like this little room, and Harry is just hitting everything to collapse the room, and then he pins TJ to the ground, and that's when Sarah takes the mask off, and you find out it was Axel all along. And then,
but why?
And then you get a flashback that no one can see, which is always the funniest things in these movies, where it's like, why was it you? And then it shows a flashback of why. And it's like, do you realize none of the characters actually saw that? So it doesn't answer their question until later.
Yes.
But so Axel was the son of one of the supervisors who gets killed by Harry Warden. And
He saw the whole thing.
I don't know, but it's the thing of like, wouldn't you want revenge on Harry Warden instead of, I don't know. The motivations are weird, but I'll accept this twist, I guess.
It's weird, but I'll allow it.
Dude, okay, hold on. And this final thing before this happens, I love. Okay, some of the fight choreography is dicey, but there's some of it that's like really impactful, where he just like takes the fucking pickaxe and like slams that fucker into the wall really hard.
Yeah,
and then it, like cuts away to Sarah for a minute, and then like he has nothing in his hands, and then back to Harry. He's like, "Wah!" Knife out of nowhere. Like, he's like he's pulled up his inventory screen and dropped it into his hand. Like, I'm good. Like, and then,
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
I was
oh
okay. I was like, what?
mind you, this area that they're fighting in, before they went into it, there was a danger. Like, clearly it was an unstable part of the cave. And of course,
well, they talked about that earlier. I was like, hey, what's down there? And it's like, oh, that's a part of the mine that's closed off. Nobody's been down there in years.
And now we know that Axel is actually the main character of Streets of Rage. He decides to break everything in the fucking place, and it all falls down on him.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you get the whole thing from the mayor, because TJ and Sarah come out and they're like, oh, it was Axel. And then the mayor goes, oh, yeah, Harry Warden killed Axel's father and he saw the whole thing. And it's like, you never mention this throughout the entire movie. You're not going to mention the fact that Axel witnessed his father get murdered by the dude we're all afraid of.
No.
What?
Well, also before even that, like the sheriff shows up and he tells the mayor, he's like, dude, Harry Warden's been dead for 5 years.
Yeah, because he finally got the call back from the woman.
And then they're like, it was Axel, and then it was like, oh, and that's when they did it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I kudos for it being out of nowhere, because that's not who I thought it was. I thought we were literally getting stuck with one of these assholes as being the final dude, which we do, because I fucking don't like TJ. I think he's a piece of shit.
Oh no, TJ wasn't the killer. Axel was the killer.
No, I mean, but like as a survivor, like the final person.
He just won.
I actually like TJ more than I liked Axel, but
really, because he's such a fucking. Piece
I mean,
of
they're
shit,
both.
Dude. I don't like
they're
either
both
of them
characters, but
yeah, absolutely.
I guess I like TJ more towards the end of the movie. The whole kidnapping your ex-girlfriend and making out with her, that's not okay.
Yeah,
not
absolutely. And he's like, dude, but he tried to fuck everything up. Like, this is the way things are, and TJ's like, no. This is no one allow it.
Yeah. Well, he does say it was fine, and then later on is like, I'm not okay. Like, what?
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like Axel is.
I liked Axel better than TJ. I'm sorry, I thought TJ was just a piece of shit. He's like, I'm gonna fucking change everything for me.
I mean, Axel,
because I'm the one who left.
Chopped his whole freaking
right?
arm off to get away.
Yeah,
he does.
Parker was.
Yeah, because they find out that he's still alive, and Sarah is like, I need to see him, and I was like,
why? He fucking tried to kill you.
Yeah. No.
They go in there and
for him.
He holds. She grabs his hand, hold it, but then you find out he fucking cuts his own arm off to escape, and then he wanders deeper into the mine, talking to himself and talking to Harry Warden and
Harry.
Yeah, and then he asks Sarah, "Will you be my bloody Valentine?"
Fuck no. Bye.
I love his laugh though. He's like,
yeah, that's great.
He's like wandering away.
Like, I will say they did a good job of hiding it, because I never thought Axel had anything to do with any of it.
Because
like, I thought it was either TJ or I thought it was the old dude at the bar for a while until he got killed.
Now knowing who it was the whole time, now I want to rewatch the movie to kind of see the whole event. Like, because there's parts where it's like Axel's at the bar when Mabel's killed. Is it the same time, or is there like is it like a little bit later? Is it before you see him at the bar? Like, it's a weird thing where it's like we see him at the bar, but when Mabel dies, it's earlier than that. Like, it was before he went. Like, I just want to know how. Like, I know it probably isn't going to line up, but it's like I want to see how much of it lines up now that we know who the killer is.
because we don't have a clear passage of time. And like I said, now that you know what's going on, it's kind of neat though, because they do a good job of hiding it, because it's a big gap between, well, we assume it's a big gap between when Mabel dies and then the sheriff finds her.
Right.
She's been in that dryer for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how long those cycles are. I mean, it's 50 cents. I don't know how long it's going to run, but it was 1980. I don't know.
But see, it's like movies like this where they don't have clocks. Like
that was takes place over 3 days, though.
But it was the big thing before we had digital. It was to have an analog clock.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But you don't ever see anything like that, so you can't assume what time it is.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So you just have to kind of assume that it's
now kids today can't
at a
even
different
read
time
an
of the
analog
day.
clock. That's how sad our world is.
It makes me sad.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And we get the Ballad of Harry Warden playing over the credits, which actually I have to state that the vocals for that song was done by John McDermott, who was a family friend of the composer Paul Zaza.
Nice.
So yeah, that is My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Let's talk about our final thoughts on the movie now that we can talk about spoiler areas of the movie. Angela, why don't you start us off?
The kills were great. It was definitely one of those we picked out a lot in certain scenes, just because, especially when the girl was pulling the cord and pulling all the coats down.
You guys ever heard of coat hangers down in the mine? Yeah, it's fucking weird down here. We're Canadian. What do we know? Blah blah blah. Just kidding.
But there were several scenes where we just picked at it, not in like a hateful way, but what we do. But I would definitely watch it again. Like, I would want to watch it again just to re-see some of the scenes that I liked.
Yeah, we should probably state, like, for the last few movies, actually for the last little while, I've mentioned it a couple times on the show, but anytime we're recording this, Angela literally has the movie playing right over here.
Yeah, it's always
so
playing.
We get to see some stuff.
I need a refresher
But it's
sometimes.
good, though, because it does help you remember. It's nice to just have it going over here.
Like, I skip forward through the...
So if I start talking about a scene, it's probably because it's going on right fucking now. But the credits are playing, in case you're curious. It's the credits.
I need a refresher sometimes, because we watch it a few days. Like this, we watched yesterday. Yep. So I didn't need much of a refresher, but there's certain times I need. It's been like 4 days since we've watched it, so I need a little help.
It always helps to have it going, because when Parker talks about it, I love having narration and stuff, but there's little subtleties you don't always like we talked about the one girl dying with a shower head, but her head lift up the same way her boyfriend lifted her up.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it, Axel saw that. He's like, all right, well, because
he was.
I don't know, maybe that was his inspiration, or they were just trying to do a callback.
Ooh, another thing that might be another ironic like connection is when all the guys meet up there to see their girlfriends when they're setting up the party, and you have, of course, the girl who gets her head, she's picked up by her head, that fits in with her kill.
Yeah,
you have Axel kissing Sarah through a ladder, so through wood. And where is he at the end of the movie but under rubble, under wooden beams? They don't kiss, but maybe that's, I don't know if that really
foreshadowing.
If that's a foreshadow, yeah, I don't.
They probably got kissed in the face with some wood.
Maybe like thanks. Well, I mean, he worked in a mine with a bunch of bros. He probably got more wood than he intended working there. And do the other quote.
What?
I like that one.
It happened once. Band. It happened twice. Cancel the dance, or it'll happen thrice.
Great band, my favorite band. I was like, I know that band. I love them.
Yeah, there's when I posted on Instagram, you can always add a song to your post. And I guess Good Charlotte has a song called My Bloody Valentine.
Hey, is it about this movie?
I didn't read the lyrics. I just saw it. I was like, oh, that's a cool thing, and I just liked it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would want to watch it again to not have to You take notes. I don't really take notes anymore. I try and keep it in here. It doesn't happen all the time. But I would want to watch it again just to not have to look at every
You just
little
gotta take
thing.
notes of like the things that pop out to you the most. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
everything like I do, but just like oh
Well,
shit.
see, that's what I used to do when I took notes. Like I'd have 2 to 3 pages of notes. So,
Dan?
I like I said went in with this like a higher than normal expectation, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, and I do not think this movie was as good as I wanted it to be. That being said, I did enjoy the movie, but I thought this was slightly above average as far as slasher movies go. I didn't think this was like this great thing because everyone's like, "Oh, My Bloody Valentine, the original one, was fucking wonderful." And I'm not saying it's not good, like I said. It's just I think it's just above average of other slashers around this time, which the early '80s was a really good time for slashers from what I have watched. But I still think like The Burning is a better movie, and I think I'd put this close to on par as the original Friday the 13th, which I'm not overly high on because it's some of its shots are interesting. Though I understand this movie has some more care taken into it, like we've discussed with some subtleties earlier in the movie, like how characters interact and how it plays out later in the movie. So there was more thought going into some of this than other slashers, even not even of the time, but just period in the '80s. But I thought most characters I didn't care for. I didn't really care for the two main male leads. I didn't care for the main female lead. We all talked about how we liked. I blanked his name. Hollis was his name?
Hollis was the best character in this
Hollis.
movie.
Yeah, I liked it. He was the best character bar none. The most grounded, level-minded, like looking out for other people dude. I liked him. But I didn't hate the character. Like, well, except for TJ. I shouldn't say that. TJ and Axel didn't care much for him didn't like them very much. But outside of the annoying Hollis's girlfriend, I could not fucking stand her at the end of the movie. I can't
I understand. The thing is like I actually liked her character as much as I liked Hollis. And then he dies and I understand her reaction. I feel like that is probably how someone might react in that situation, especially if it's somebody that they love, of course. It's not like you're just going to be like, "Oh yeah, he's dead, like we got to go." It's like you're
of course.
Like some people just accept it's like I want to go too type thing and
like,
so
I'm not like you said, like I'm not leaving him.
It's definitely a realistic reaction. So, but it was kind of like you're as the viewer, you're like, "Come on, Patty."
Yeah, exactly. And I love the notes from the killer. I like the surprise twist because I did not think it was Axel. The kills were cool, so I definitely would watch an uncut version. I know you didn't, unfortunately, couldn't.
But I did. I mean, the kill count shows all the extended kills, so I was able to see them.
So, but like I think this deserves the respect it gets. I just think I was like way too high in my expectations for the film, and I may have been mixing this up with Prowler in my mind for some of it because I really want to watch fucking Prowler too because I've heard the kills are very good in that. But yeah, it's I think it's a good movie. I think it's fine, but again, my expectations were set a little too high. I like the killer. I like the kind of the coal mine thing was kind of different. Definitely, it's not a recurring theme in slasher movies. But I'm looking forward to watching the remake because I've heard it was good too. I've heard people that enjoy it as well. So.
Yeah, this movie was interesting. I always love watching these early '80s slashers because you either get something like, for me, Friday the 13th, the original one is not like for me is not one of the best, but it was something new at the time. And so it was, I think these slashers that came out, they were all trying to follow in the footsteps of like Halloween or Black Christmas. And it has a cool idea. I like the whole story behind this movie. The kills are really cool, especially when you can see the extended versions of the kills. I think they're really creative. The shower kill is my favorite kill in the movie. It's really cool.
Really? Okay.
I love the shower kill. I mean, they're all creative. The effects are good. I like most of the characters. I think they all feel like actual friends, and I really like that. Hollis, of course, as we stated many, many times, best character in the movie. Him and his girlfriend are really good together, and then, we all know how it goes at the end. But yeah, the main characters, the two guys in that love triangle did not give a shit. Didn't give it. I know that these movies can't just be killers kills people and it's just brainless, dumb teenagers or whatever. So you got to give us something. And so they give us this weird love triangle thing. It just wasn't interesting. I understand why they put it in the movie, but it wasn't interesting to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like either of the guys. I think I didn't like Axel more than TJ, but I didn't like TJ either. So they were both just like, I didn't care if either of them. To be honest, I wish it was like they both survived. None of them were the killer, but Sarah was just like, I don't want either of you. You both suck, and then just left.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been great.
But of course, the end of the movie is, oh, TJ saved me from Killer Axel. I'm going to be with him. It's like, oh, that kind of, I didn't like that. But whatever. It's the side. It's just a little bit of a dislike for me. But I had a good time with this movie. It's definitely slow paced. It's not like bing, bang, boom, but the kills are really creative. I liked them a lot. The effects are good. The music is good, in my opinion. The score, I really like the score. That final song at the end, fucking Chef's Kiss. I don't I definitely am looking forward to revisiting the remake because I don't know if I've seen it since it came out, and that movie came out in 2009, so it's been 14 years or 15 years now that movie has been out. So it's gonna be interesting to see the differences, especially looking at horror remakes of that time, because you had like Black Christmas. The 2006 remake had come out at that time. That was the same but very different also. That was, 2009 was also Friday the 13th. We've already covered that movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, Hills Have Eyes, all these, that was the time of remakes. And so it's going to be interesting to go back and see how different it is or how similar it is. Because I don't remember, to be honest. But that's it. That is our conversation on 1981's My Bloody Valentine. We are now going to go over to social media and see what all of you have to say about My Bloody Valentine. Because as you know, every single week I post on all of our social medias about what movie we're going to be covering. And we let you leave your comments on your thoughts on the movie we're covering. So, of course, we're going to start over on X/Twitter. Our first one is from Dewey Podmonster at Dewey Podmonster. Great podcast. They are doing a watch party at a local bar over in Detroit, Michigan on February 22nd of this year. So if you are in the Detroit area and you want to go watch an awesome movie and hang out with some awesome people, check out Batch Brewing Company. The guys at Dewey Podmonster will be there to watch My Bloody Valentine. So check that out. Our next one is from the Let's Talk Horror channel, another BP. He says, it's somehow underrated, yet somehow would have been better if it was allowed to be what it wanted to be, which I'm guessing he's talking about the fact that the MPAA just chopped the shit out of this movie. It's always a film that I enjoy watching, but always wonder what if, and it's one I'd love to remake. So we got a remake, but I would love to see your idea for a remake, BP. So yeah, make sure to check out the Let's Talk Horror channel, another great podcast. A lot of great stuff over there. He's got a great YouTube channel and a great podcast. So we'll follow. Our next one is from Mikey Mutant or at Blue Yeti Mike X, who says, one of my favorite slashers. We haven't done an episode yet for VHS Doom. I'm excited to hear what you guys think. Well, I hope you enjoy our thoughts and our breakdown of the plot. And make sure to go check out VHS Doom, another great podcast. A lot of great podcasters here leaving comments for us. So thank you so much. And then, of course, I shouted out Vintage Video Podcast. I listened to their episode. They covered it because their podcast is they cover every film from every year of the 80s, and this was, of course, their last season, part of their last season, 1981. Great episode, and I believe it was covered on another podcast called The Slashers, which is also done by one of their hosts, is Jason from Binge Movies, who actually you hear his wonderful voice as our new intro to the show. So make sure to go check out The Slashers, a great podcast that covers slashers through the 80s. All right, so thank you to everyone who left us a comment on the movie. Make sure to follow us on all the social medias. We're at Dissect That Film on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, we're over there too, but I don't post anything over there other than videos that maybe relate to what we're covering. But we're on Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, Slasher, all those apps. Any apps that you could think of, we're probably there at Dissect That Film. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/dissect that film, where for $1 you can help support the show and get some bonus goodies like bloopers, stuff that happens at the beginning of the show that we have to cut out. We also have Patreon polls, which is what we're going to discuss right now, because we posted on Patreon a couple of selections for the final film we're going to be covering for the 1985 month. We already covered, oh God, refresh my memory here. What did we cover? Our first episode was Silver Bullet, which was Dan's pick. And then we covered, that was with Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast. And then our second episode was my pick, which was Return to Oz, which we covered with Allie from the Quad Pro Quo podcast. And then, of course, this one is our Valentine's Day episode. It's not part of that series, but our final one is Angela's picks, but they're her picks, where she selected 3 movies and we let Patreon choose. And they chose, drumroll please, The Black Cauldron.
Oh,
so we're going back to animation. We're going back to the dark period of Disney back in 1985 as we talk about The Black Cauldron next week. So yeah, goes with my aesthetic. So for just $1, you can be part of those polls. You can get some extra goodies. If you want to join us at the $5 tier, we have a bonus show called The Monster Zone, which is hosted by these wonderful people, Dan and Angela, where we talk about monster movies throughout the years. We've been doing a lot of monster movies from the 50s, but hopefully we'll be branching out to different years and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, and we got watch-alongs coming. We got commentary tracks coming. We got fun stuff coming for the Patreon, so stay tuned for that. I think that's about it, guys. You can follow us on all our links. They're always down in the description. We don't usually share those. You can, if you want to know where our personal stuff is at, just go down to the description of the show notes, or the description if you're watching us on YouTube. Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure to like and comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you thought of the episode, and make sure to like the video, share the video. We appreciate you. If you're listening to us in your ears, make sure to leave us a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, wherever you listen to us, and you can rate us. Please do, because it helps us out. It helps us branch the show off to get more listeners. And if you've been listening to us since the beginning, or if you've listened to us for a long time, we appreciate your support, because just you listening we're really grateful for that, because we need that satisfaction to know that people are still listening to the show. We've been gone for a while. It feels like we've been gone for an eternity, and we're back, and we're coming back, baby. So we appreciate everybody who has supported the show. In any way you can, we appreciate you. So yeah, everything, all the info, you know where it is, down below. We got anything else? Did I miss anything? Because I always feel like I'm missing something.
I don't think so. I think you got it.
I think I'm good. So next week is our finale of the month of 1985, where we're talking about The Black Cauldron. And then next month, it's the month of 1986. But we won't share with you what movie we're starting off with, so keep it a secret. So until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film. And this has been another episode of, I guess we'll just call it the Dissect That Film podcast. We'll see y'all again next time. Will you be my Valentine? Bye-bye.
Bye.